Hey guys, today we got the SHEJISI. I think I'm pronouncing that right, I'm not sure. But it's a rear view mirror for your side-by-side. It fits pretty much any of them. It's a universal one. Off Amazon, we'll have the link in the description. It's an affiliate link, so just remember I could benefit ever so slightly from clicking that link. We'll also, at the same time, we're gonna be putting in the ZIDIYORUO. And once again, I'm pretty sure I pronounced that wrong, but it's basically a phone holder. This is it here. It's got a pretty big clamp on it. So it's, we're gonna put it, I think due to the windshield, we're gonna put it on the top. We kind of mocked it up a little bit before the video started. I think it's gonna it would intrude with the windshield a bit, and it would change the, I don't think the windshield would fit if we put this on there. So we're gonna put it up high, which will be a little, so you'd look up and you could kind of see. So if you're running a tool like OnX Off-Road, which I highly recommend, you could definitely have it right there and you can see your trail map right there. So we'll go ahead and get to the install now. One thing you're gonna notice, and we'll talk about it during the video, is that the roof we have installed on here, there's a little bit of a seal that we're gonna just pop the roof up just a little bit, I think, so we can get these two things in. So we'll get to it here and enjoy the video. So here we have the ZIDIYORUO. Once again, I think I'm pronouncing that wrong. iPhone, Android mount here. This would work on, you know, anything with a bar here. Probably side-by-sides are probably the main thing you'd want to use this on. They're the ones with the largest. You might be able to use this on a motorcycle. You probably have to get a little bit different of a clamp here. And I think they sell them. I've seen some on the road. But this thing's pretty stable. We had in the previous videos that iPad mount that was, you know, tablet mount for the front, and that thing was absolutely horrible. This thing is really heavy duty. I am really confident in this one. This one's tight, and I don't think a phone's gonna pop out on the trail with this one. So at the same time, this is two products today, and once again there'll be affiliate links in the description. We're going to take out another one here, and let's see if we can get this here. So this is the SHEJISI rear view mirror. You can see the instructions are pretty easy here. We're not talking about a bad install. And if you notice from our other videos, when we talk about installing the side view mirrors, they had a really novel system on there that didn't take up too much space, and it's basically a metal strap here that'll go around and hang the mirror. So this is it here. I'll pull it out of the box for now. So it's a pretty good system, it looks like. So here's the mirror, and it's pretty large. I'm concerned it'll get in the way of the tire there, but you know, as long as we can see a little bit out of it, that's really what matters. A couple tool sets in here. Here's the clamp system I was telling you about, and this will be really helpful as you see us as we install this, is getting underneath that roof. So we'll get back to it here, and Ray and I'll get to installing.
You got a perfect angle of looking in the gap. So if you look in right through here,
yeah, that's.
You see the gap with that weather stripping we're talking about. We don't want to damage that right there.
Let's get a look at the weather stripping
yeah,
here.
Look in this gap here.
Yeah, I think the camera can see that pretty well actually.
But yeah,
actually probably better than my eyes here.
Yeah.
So as you can see, there's some weather stripping there. Not needed so much in the desert here, but if you ride anywhere where there's water or anything like that,
but we don't want
to. More useful. So what we're doing here is, let me get in on the other side here, and we'll take a better look at this. As what we're doing here is installing the phone mount, the ZIDIYORUO phone mount, and it's just a couple of Allen wrench bolts. Do we know what size we're using on these?
We're using a 4mm on the bar clamps, and then on the face for the arm is a 5mm.
Right, so just have a 4mm, 5mm Allen wrenches available to you. I believe that it came with them, but I took it out of the box a while ago. I don't have those, so we're just put these on the impact wrench and torque them down pretty good. So once we get this on here, we're gonna just ensure that it's not in our line of sight too much. So we're gonna try to get it up. And as you can see, we were talking about the weather stripping. We're gonna pull it down to the edge and get it on the side of the weather stripping. We're just getting it initially tightened here.
Hop in, see where this is gonna line up. The nice thing is we have this little arm, we can move it around. So there's a flat spot on top. We want to keep that flat spot where the roof is so that everything clears and doesn't bind. Looks like we got a good spot here, and then we use the arm to move us around. So we'll get these snugged up here. There we go. Cool. It's nice and snug in there. We'll change it to 5 mil.
And here we'll be able to articulate this pretty good so we can keep it out of our line of sight and keep it where we can see it, but we can see the road.
Well, the nice thing is you got a nice little peanut knuckle mount. You can move this thing around all kinds of different ways.
Yeah, and it gets pretty tight too, which is nice. Yeah, so it's a pretty versatile mount here. I kind of actually like it up higher so I can just glance at it.
So up high, it's out of the line of view when you're wearing your helmet. You don't have to worry about hitting it if it's up out of the way here. So we're going to tighten the arm.
I actually kind of like this better than being on the roll bar on the side next to the window. You can tighten it up by hand once you get the initial spot on it. There's some hand tightening here for the knuckles.
Yeah. So we can do it this way, or we can flip it around either way. And then there's little hand tightens on the back for when you get the width, and then it's the standard clamp your phone in kind of thing with the fingers around it.
I wish I had my other phone on me so we could test it.
I can grab my phone real quick and give it a shot.
Yeah, well,
the width might be a little different, but it should still hook it in really well.
Yeah,
but I mean, you can feel this thing.
We're about to put on a mirror, so we're going to see how it goes with the mirror here.
And we can always adjust this back around the other way once we get the mirror on.
And maybe we can, I don't know if we can move it that way at all, which might be a good idea. We'll see when we get the mirror here.
We'll loosen it down. We'll be able to play around with it while we're doing the mirror.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and grab the mirror here. The SHEJISI, as you can see, this thing has been off-road a bit, and so we're a little dirty. Need to take it down to the wash and get this thing cleaned up a bit. But for now, you know, most people that have these, it's if your ride's not a little dirty, you haven't been using it right. So, quick look at the instructions. It's a pretty easy one. Just remember on bolt number 3, it's used to adjust the insulation size. It says do not loosen it completely. So just be aware, don't loosen all the way on the number 3 bolt.
Yeah. So we're just going to loosely get these on here initially.
This is a 4mm, I believe, here.
This one is
maybe a little smaller.
Yeah, it looks a little smaller.
Yeah, I think the 4. I looked at one on the bench.
Yeah, this one's much smaller, but they give you a nice little Allen. It's got the little ball end on it, so
yeah. So it comes with it. So no need for tools here. A lot of these come with tools. We have a tendency to want to use our own because, you know, sometimes it's easier to use a impact wrench. So
you're familiar with.
We're gonna go right around with this strap here, right through here. Remember, we have the roof is loosened up, so we can get these through easy without damaging this weather stripping.
We just want to get this started for now. We'll worry about cinching it up once we get them both on.
Yeah, and this was something I think a lot of people, if you have Ride Command and all those, you know, you'll have a rear camera and you can see it on the screen, but this is a sport model that doesn't have those, so this mirror would be helpful. We'll see how it does. I'm not sure it's going to clear through here. As you can see, you know, we have limited amount of space with the tire here, but as long as we can get just a view so we can see right behind us, you know, in combination with the mirrors we installed here, it should just give us enough to see, you know, we have our buddies riding behind us or not, or we lost them, or.
So there's one bolt we can cinch up. We won't cinch up this guy until we figure out where exactly we want him. Now we're just going to repeat on for the other clamp. and then we'll figure out where we're going to stick the mirror.
Yeah, and this is a, we might move the phone mount around depending on where we put this mirror. It's really about utility here. I'm not too concerned about what this looks like and where it is, and if it's centered up, it's not something that's a concern at all. So it's really just about being able to get that view out the back.
And by lifting up the roof, we can keep that weather stripping intact.
We're filming this on the same day as the belt install video, and I think I got over here about 10 o'clock, and it's only 11 o'clock right now. So as you can tell, we took a little time in between. Is that these are pretty quick installs here. So the belt was relatively easy. These have been, to this point so far, fairly easy. I think we're just going to get into a little bit where we have to adjust some, which is no big deal.
So these are going to slide in these guys. So we're keeping it all loose right now until we can figure out our angles.
Yeah, because we'll have to move it a little bit so we can get to these here. So as you see this, they branded it here because no one, they got to know that this is a SHEJISI. Maybe we'll put some Boonsticks stickers there, and I'll make a sticker that fits there, and we'll make it our brand instead. So that'll look a lot better. I don't really need SHEJISI off the front of the car. Thanks China for the cheap parts. No one knows who you are. So what just slid in there?
So I unscrewed this piece from the bar and then undid that. So I'm attaching it, and you can do it either way. You can screw the whole thing in here. And we'll just get a little wrench and get that guy snugged up. Or we can just do it this way. This is essentially the same way. 2 ways to skin the same cat.
Yeah. So a lot of this is just getting it aligned here.
This is why you leave everything loose at the beginning, so you can get all this started correctly.
And as with any of these, once we get this in here and in the correct place and get these all lined up, is that we're gonna want to make sure we get it pretty tight. Yeah. Because this is gonna rattle around where anything mounted on any kind of roll bar here is gonna need to be tight.
Swap sides real quick here. Let's see what we got here. That's that size. Get the little tiny guy. This will be one of those ones. We'll go back and we'll get the impact to the right size. But so we can play with this a little bit. With the spare tire and the speaker, we're going to look through the gap in the back there to be able to see behind us.
You want to take off this wrapper here?
Oh, it's fine. We'll leave it on for now.
Well, I was going to take it off so we could get, just so we could get a view of what we can see out of the back here.
Yeah, it's a pretty good wrap. You can see all the way from halfway across my head, across the whole back, and see out the passenger side with it pretty straight here.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. That's what I was looking for, more or less, is just to be able to get a quick view out of the back. This doesn't have to be perfect, but to be honest, this is actually a pretty good mirror. I'm a little surprised about the quality for the price. Yeah, you'll find the link in the description here for this particular mirror. I don't remember the exact cost as we're filming this, but it was fairly low. I want to say it was in the $40 range, maybe a little less, which is pretty reasonable for what this is. And the quality of it for the price, I don't think it can be beat. I saw a few on, I'm very surprised at the quality. So we're just gonna, Ray's gonna get these tightened up a bit here.
See if we're in the right ballpark here. Get these, we can snug this guy up a little bit here.
And so here we're just doing a bit of adjustment. It's trial and error. So there's no completely right way and no completely wrong way. And maybe there's a completely wrong way where you can't see out the back. But as long as you see out the back, Ray and I are roughly about the same height too. So that kind of helps here. And each of us drive this car a bit. So that's actually a pretty nice thing. So if it's just one of you driving the car, just adjust it for you. But it looks like there's a bit of an adjustment here. So I think you can move it in place. Yeah. If you need to hand adjust for somebody taller, somebody shorter, that's not a problem at all either. That's also a nice to have. I'm a little concerned in the future is maybe some of these hand tight ones, how tight they'll stay, but I'll give you an update on that after about a month or so. I'll let you know on that. So yeah, the mirror's pretty nice.
And now we can make our adjustments over here accordingly.
So with the mirror here, the phone mount was a little too close. So what we did is we flipped it as well too, because this side stays stationary, so you can leave it near the mirror here and put the side that's adjustable that way. And it looks like it's pretty tight, and you can tighten it on the sides. There's hand tightening here, so whatever model phone you have, get it set for that. But you can also, once you put it in, you can slam those to the side of your phone and put it there. Because where that's going to be at is somewhere where you don't want that phone coming out, because it's going to go right out the side. So we don't want that. You can see where on the roll bar we have that here. You might need to put it over, you might need to put it this way. It depends on what kind of phone you have and where you want that mount to be exactly. But it can always be adjusted. You can see on the mirror here.
These are snugged up on the mirror.
Yeah, so got everything installed here, looks good. I think overall these look like two pretty good accessories here, and you're not going to break the bank. You're probably out 80 bucks with these two accessories, and I think they're pretty handy. I do use OnX Off-Road for some trail maps. I kind of like to go on my own, but I like to get an overview. So we're going to tighten back up the roof here, and this will vary based on what type of roof you have. Make sure we get these tight. I'm gonna grab that one more time. I don't know if I can get this in here. I'm not very talented with my left hand. My left hand's there for balance. So it's not gonna work out great. Yeah, so that was the install of the SHEJISI and I can't even pronounce the name of the phone mount anymore. I'm not looking at it and I can't pronounce it, but it's down in the description. So once again, thank you for joining the channel. Thank you for the views. Make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and once again, we'll see you on the trails.